Anybody that wants the recording will let me know, or anybody who wants to record it. Okay, cool. So we always draw, like most of the time we know that, like this is an example of an uptrend. Goes up, retraces, up, retraces, up, retraces, right? So we know there is an uptrend. We can even draw trend lines, you know, to identify that that's an uptrend type of thing. But what this tool helps you do is identify entries if you've identified your trend. So if you know, if you know, for example, this is an uptrend, we know this is an uptrend, right? But how do we know when to enter? And that's where the Fibonacci comes in, right? So a Fibonacci, just gonna delete all this. Okay, so a Fibonacci, I'll call it a Fib, but a Fibonacci is something that looks like this, right? You find it here on your tools with the F at the bottom. So that's what a Fibonacci looks like. And you click on that and you just drag it, and that's the tool, right? That's the tool we're gonna use. And when you draw the tool, depending on the trend, if this is an uptrend, I draw it from the last bottom, like from the bottom of the last uptrend to the top, right? In an uptrend, you draw it from the bottom to the top. But in a downtrend, you draw it from the top to the bottom, right? Like that. So where I started there, where this red line is, from the top there to the bottom, and that's how I draw it. Okay. Any questions with regards to that? Because I think everybody's on mute. You can turn on your mics. Okay. Let me see if I can hear you. My speaker's loud and clear. I don't know. I can't hear anybody. Anybody say something? Anybody? Okay. Not sure if I can. Let me see any questions here. Okay, but anyway, okay. So, like I said, just to recap, when you're drawing it from in an uptrend, you touch the bottom to the top. When you're drawing it to a downtrend, draw it from the top to the bottom, just like that. Okay, cool. Now, second thing is, after drawing it, the only zone we're focusing on is this zone here, this area here that I'm highlighting. That's an area between 50.00 and 61.8. That's the only area we focus on. So the only area we focus on is 61.8 to 50. That in between the 61.8 and 50. That's the only zone we look for good entries. Okay, so if I'm in an uptrend, let's say this is the chart. I'm in an uptrend. I draw from the bottom right to the top there. Just gonna delete this one so it doesn't confuse us. Delete that. Okay, so in an uptrend, I start from there, right to the top. Then I see maybe the chart is retracing, see a retracement of candles. Where do I enter? I'm looking for the zone that I spoke about. Here's the zone, 50 and 61.8. Highlight that zone. If, let me highlight it properly there, right. I got it. Now I would know that, okay, price has gone up. If it comes to that zone and shows me a reversal pattern or change in the candles are becoming bullish, then I know it's a good entry to go long. Okay, I go long. Here's the long chart, goes, chart goes up. Then candle starts showing me a retracement. What do? I draw the fib again from the last move, the trend, last move to the high. So I start from there now, right to the top there. Where do I look for entry? Between the 51 and 61.8, which is the zone right there. So sometimes the charts just put a spike and then continues. And that would be my entry if it's in a bull trend, right? Cool. Next zone, then it goes up, then next I draw the next from the bottom to the top. Then what happens here? That is my zone right there, 50 and 61.8. What happened there? What happened there? There was a breakout of that zone. So what am I expecting? Since it broke out of 51, 61.8 in the retracement, it could probably be a reversal, right? Reversal. So I wouldn't enter this. I would wait and see what happens. It could just, because it broke that zone that we always look for, it could become a reversal, right? So if you look at for those zones for entries, I'll show you on a live chart, but if you look for those zones, then you'll be better off in your entries. It would be like 100% trade. So let's say I'm in a downtrend. Let's say I'm in a downtrend. Okay, since this is a downtrend, I start from the top to the bottom, right? When it retraces, which zone am I looking for? 61.8 and 50. Highlight that area. If price comes there, shows me a reversal, I'm good to enter, continue with my short. Continued with my short, retraced, go there, retraced. It almost touched the zone. Probably I've missed this entry, but I always look for something that at least touches the line or comes in between that zone. So I would have looked for something like that. If it didn't, I'll probably have missed the trade, but these entries are good. If it goes past that zone and does something like that, I wouldn't have entered that trade. It's safest always in the 51 and 61.8. Now, another thing that you might not know, the best way to identify a good head and shoulders, whether it's inverse or direct, is to use the fib. So let's say I'm identifying a head and shoulders, right? This is the shoulder, and then that's the head, and I feel that it's gonna start retracing there. I'm looking for a head and shoulders. From the head right down to the neckline, if you use the fib, because you're gonna see a continuation of the trend, I would draw my fib for the right shoulder, left right shoulder, and identify the zone, the 51 and 61.8. And if I see it turning there, then I can say this is a valid head and shoulders that is about to form, and I'll continue trading that short there to the down to my neckline, then look for the breakout. So an example like this, I see these two lines there, see something like that. Let me just delete everything. Let's see, I see something like that. On my chart, lower low. And I see price coming down. How to identify where should I looking for entry if I'm assuming it's a head and shoulders? Since I'm expecting it to go to the upside, I'm gonna draw my last uptrend like that from the bottom to the top because I'm expecting it to go higher. I would then highlight the area 50 and 61.8, and I'd wait to see what happens when price comes there. If price comes there and bounces, then hey, I'm good to go. If I see some reaction in that zone, I'm good to go for the head and shoulders as confirmed. But if price does something like that, I wouldn't enter that. It could come down and just form a double bottom instead of creating the right shoulder. So I would, if I saw some candle formation there, I could put a trade there with a very tight stop loss because I don't want to go past that zone. But if it goes past there, then I know that, okay, it's not valid anymore for that, for using the fib. Okay. Okay, so someone asked here, does it respect all time frames? Yes, yes. You can find this on any time frame. But the higher the time frame that you use this, the better for you. So I'm going to show you live charts. I mean charts that I have used the fib on as an example, but it respects any time frame. But do know that every tool, whether it's a trend line or an indicator, works better on a higher time frame. Reason being, it's stronger on a higher time frame. That's why we are using on BFG, we use the weekly chart as confirmation, because when it holds, something holds on a higher time frame like weekly, it's definitely it's holding for a long time. If you're gonna draw the fib on a 15-minute chart, it might just last for a scalper for that 15 or 2 hours. But if you're using it on H1, it could last for the whole day. If you're using it on a 4 hour, it could last for the whole week. Yeah, I hope that makes sense what I say. Okay, so going to charts. Here I have Euro USD. It's been on a downtrend, right? You can see it's been on a downtrend. Cool. Okay, we do expect a reversal at some point because it's been going down for a while. Probably this is a double, like a bottom there. Okay. Okay, I'll do that, Sandile. I'll do that. Cool. So, okay, so here I am. This is still a downtrend, right? Okay, cool. Sharp. What I did, since it's still a downtrend, I'm gonna use the last down movement from my fib to confirm is it really turning? Is it really gonna turn and become an uptrend, or are we still going down? Okay, so I go to my chart, H4. I saw it on H4. Okay, from the top of this downtrend here, it's a strong downtrend. Take my fib from the top right down to that bottom there. Cool. Okay, went up, retraced, right? Sure. If it broke out of the 61.8, there was a candle close somewhere around this area here. If there was a candle close here, a bullish candle close or any candle close above that 61.8, I would have said, hey, you know what? I'm definitely now ready to buy this. But guess what? In our zone, this is our zone. This is our zone here. Remember, 51, 50, and 61.8. That is our zone. That is what we always look for. Guess what it did? it got there, 2 pin bars. Now we know that if there's big wicks and something, it means price has failed. It's trying to break through there, but it's failing because of the, if it was a full candle, I'd say, hey, no, the bulls are strong. But this shows that the bulls are a bit weak in this area because it's tried breaking out, but it's failing. Cool. Tomorrow, if I see a red candle coming down here, even below this 50 zone, I'm definitely going to sell because it's in the right area for my, just want to try it properly. It's in the right area for my Fib zone. And it's showing me some candle formation that's showing that it's weak. You understand? So if it's showing that it's resisting, if I see a red candle there, then I continue down. Another thing about the Fib, by the way, forgot to say this. If I'm in an uptrend, if I'm in an uptrend, right? There's someone with a radio. Who is that? Okay, I muted the person. If I'm in an uptrend, and I see that price is turning at our zone, okay, our zone here, 50 and 61.8. If I'm in an uptrend and I see that price is turning in my Fib zone, the target of, basically the target of my entry will be here in the Fib zone. My target is you basically draw the length from the last trend, like let's say from there to there, that's the length of that last up move. I'm pressing the control button, I copy that exactly, and I go to the where my Fib zone, where I entered my Fib zone, and my target is there. That's my TP. This is my TP. So that's just a lesson. If I'm in a downtrend, goes to my Fib zone. I'm in a downtrend, it touches my Fib zone there, and I see that it's turning. I'll draw that line again, press Control from my chart, MT4, and say, okay, while it turned there, so from there where I entered, that's my TP. Okay, so going back to Euro USD, if I see a red candle below the 50, because I do see that it's in the Fib zone, my target would be, I'll draw that last downtrend, copy it from my entry, and that would be my target right there. But obviously, I won't ignore that this is a good support since it has failed to break the support. But I'm just showing you how to enter it. Okay. Now the chart, this is AUD USD. Okay. We've been looking for we've been buying, we've been saying it's a buy. Okay, since it turned here at this bottom here, been saying it's a good buy. Let me test it on a daily time frame. Where did it turn? Is it a good entry place? From okay, is this an uptrend? No, it's not actually. But if that's the lowest place to the highest place, now this actually, I can't use this. Okay, so here on H4, I can see that, okay, this was forming lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, and then now basically it's almost like now turning, right? So I'm going to draw a fib from, since I'm looking for up movement from there right till there. So that's the last uptrend, right? Okay, that's the last uptrend until it reversed. So from there, that week, right to the last point where it went up, that was there, came back, guess what? which is my area, 50 and 61.8. That's the area that I would have looked for an entry. So, okay, let me draw it properly again. Right to the wick. Sharp. Where is it? Okay, just gonna put it down. And that's jumping up. Okay, anyway. And then that's my zone, 50 and 61.8. Went up, didn't hit, finally hit, went in. Even a small wick like that, I consider it entered the Fib zone. Good. Where's my target for this now? I draw a length of that, press Control, hold, pull it up. If I enter there, that's my next TP. There, in that area, price 69.721. Okay. Um, you can enter it like as soon as you see the 50 and 61.8. Someone's asking, do I enter between it or anyway? Okay, when you highlight the 50, that's the 50 line, and 61.8, anywhere in there, whether it's a small prick in there, whether it touches that line, it's good confirmation that that's a good entry to go long. So even if you enter at if we entered like there at that line because of some reason on a lower time frame, maybe you saw something on a lower time frame, even if it comes back a little bit down, you're still in a good entry compared to not knowing where you are in the market or where's the best entry to enter. So as per H4, that is a good entry for AUD USD. Okay.
I see.
Okay. So okay, that's Euro AUD USD. So to go long, that's fine. Okay. Now, okay, USD JPY. Okay, it went up, came down, came down. Okay, let's look. Okay, so let's see what was the trend for this pair. So far, it looks like it's a downtrend, right? But on the other side, it looks like the bottoms, it's an uptrend, something like that. Okay, but let's say I see this is the last downtrend. Probably I'm thinking that it passed the Fib zone. So if I was considering selling, that wouldn't like if it got here, I would try to sell if I considered that it's going down, but it didn't turn at my Fib zone, so I would have left that trade. Okay. Now the other way around, let's say this was a bull move. I'm considering that from this bottom here, it's a bull move. From here till there was a bull move, right? The last uptrend till there. All right. So I take my Fib, take it from that bottom right to the top. Where is it now? Price is exactly in our zone on USD JPY. Spiked right into our zone. Right? Cool. That's on the
Personally, I do price action confirmation.
Sorry?
I'm saying personally, I'd wait for price action confirmation,
Yeah.
like a
Candle.
reversal.
Yeah, definitely. No, I agree with you totally. Yes, it has. It could tomorrow. It could probably pull another daily candle that pushes through there. So I'd wait for candle information that would show me something that's turning and coming out of that 50 to the top, right? That would be better to do. I'd wait for price confirmation. So it's not a good entry right now, but it's telling me that that's a good zone. I should be watching price in the zone.
Yeah.
Okay. So my personal analysis on this pair, and I'm not trying to convince you all in any way. JPY. I've been looking at this pair from a weekly perspective, and that's what I saw, right? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder is forming, right? That's where my target is, all right? I've been on this pair ever since. Okay, so in that, we're in the right shoulder area. In that right shoulder, I'm seeing head and shoulders. Let me just delete this, remove everything. Okay, let me just remove everything. Let me delete, remove all drawings. Okay, so on a weekly chart, head and shoulders, just give me a sec, please. Head and shoulders, cool. I'm seeing that, 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 right? That's what I'm seeing. And using the Fib, remove that tool, the Fib retracement tool. Oh, you can't see actually, sorry. Okay. So on the pair, USD I saw this. My favorite reversal pattern is basically head and shoulders. It works for me all the time. Okay, that's what I saw. And to see if it confirms that. So there on top, right? My Fib zone is 50 and 61.8. That's the red zone. I made it so that it shows the red zone as the entry point. Could have entered, did enter actually, then price moved. It's forming the right shoulder as far as I'm concerned, right, with this pair, right? Cool. With that said, I zoomed in closer to, is it H4? Right, where is it now? Can't see it anymore. Just give me a sec. Anyway, I'll get back to it. Let me fix it because I can't see what I could see. Okay, so we're still in the meeting, right? Okay, cool. I'll fix that. Okay, this is another pair, GBP AUD. It's been a long downtrend. Key, it retraced, came to the area, our area of importance there, right? There's a possible reversal coming to the downside, right? Okay, going to a lower GBP AUD, sell looks good, delete that. Go lower to a lower time frame, try and see if I can see anything there. Okay, last downtrend from there to there. I see it turned at the Fib zone on M15. I could be personally looking for a sell since it turned at the Fib zone, continuing the sell. Okay. Okay, this is GBP CAD. Last downtrend, retraced up on weekly. Guess where it turned? Fib zone. If I'm looking for target, I'll probably look for target distance till there. But it did turn at the Fib zone. Gold, if we could have seen it, yeah, sometimes there's too many charts. But anyway, it did an uptrend there, reversed a bit. If it's gone lower than 61.8, I would have considered, okay, continuing with this if it is a downtrend, but continuing with this if it went to below 61.8. But when I threw the Fib, I'm always consider those areas. I think the 61.8 is there. If it's going up, went up, retraced, came there to the 61.8, did a morning star right there.
Is it Morningstar? Yeah. That's a term?
It's a candlestick pattern.
Oh.
Yeah, candlestick formation. Morningstar is a candlestick formation. Yeah. And then another one. There's no, not didn't do anything there. AUD NZD. I don't know if I think someone asked me to check this one out. Check the chart.
I said Euro NZD.
Oh, Euro NZD, my bad. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll check that one out now. Chat window. Clean. Okay, Euro NZD. Okay, so I'm looking at Euro NZD. This is the main trend going down, because this one obviously has formed something like a two-top touch there, but this is the main trend. So I'm gonna draw it from that top right to the bottom there. And yeah, we're in the Fib zone to continue to the downside. So I'll be looking for candle information in this area now. Again, go to a lower time frame, see if I can see anything there. There could be something like head and shoulders there. Let me see if I flip it from that area to there. See how, not perfect, but that's, I drew the last downtrend from there to the bottom. And the area I would be looking for would have been there to enter if I wanted to enter. Wait for the candle to come out of the 50, continue down. So this is a good, still fresh, so could retrace a bit. If it is gonna retrace this, if I'm looking for a 5-minute entry, I'd fib this last downtrend there and look for an entry somewhere there to continue down. But on a higher time frame, it's definitely good to enter. Excuse me, let me just do that. On a higher time frame from there to there. Showing me that turned at the Fib zone, it's definitely good to go down. There's no reason not to go down. That's on a H4, right? That was on a H4. Let's see on a, so it's like you can use it anyway. On a weekly time frame, that's the last downtrend. It's actually showing me that although on H4 it looks like it has really gone down, but on weekly it's showing me that it's definitely a good place to enter, and it's already showing me a bearish candle on that area. And it's nice to confirm with another chart like a MH4, like weekly says it's on the Fib zone. H4 is also saying it's on the Fib zone. So two Fibs are telling me it's on the Fib zone, and yeah, that's a good pair to enter to go short. So yeah, I'm gonna put this video. You can ask any questions. I don't know if you'll have any further questions with regards to that. Anyone can ask anything.
I don't have questions. I just wanted to say thank you for the video, man.
Okay. No, thank you. A tip that I learned just a little tip that I learned in the years that I've been trading. If you do not know where the trend is, right? If you don't know whether you're in an uptrend or a downtrend, right? Always, this is a good tool to use. Insert trend indicator. I know we're not supposed to use indicators, but just if you don't know, moving average, man. All right, moving average 200. Gonna use yellow 200 exponential, 200 exponential on a 15-minute time frame. On 15-minute time frame, that will tell you where the trend is, and it will be safe for you to enter. So if you're in a sell, you want to enter a sell, wait for it to be below there. If you're looking for a buy, look for it to be above. And just test this moving average on any chart, and you'll see that it will help you get good entries. But you analyze on like we always analyze on a higher time frame, like a weekly. Let me look like this Euro NZD. We're saying it's a sell, right? Cool. We go down to the 15-minute time frame, and the safest place is this was a safe place to sell. Continue down. This is a safe place to sell below the 200. See, so if you're in a sell, you know that the trade is a sell. The best place to enter is below the 200. It's a safe place to sell. So the 200 saves me from entering too quickly. If you entered GBP or USD, you would have stayed safe because you would have been below the 200. Yeah, so that's just the final tip for that. And yeah, anybody that wants the video, I'm gonna share it somewhere, and then whoever wants this video, a recap of this video, I will send it to you. So you just DM me directly, and I'll just share it to you. Cheers, guys. Have a fruitful week next week.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Yes, thanks a lot.
No problem, man. I probably will try do another video soon. But yeah, if you're interested, I'll share more. But yeah, thank you.